It's 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. You're laying in bed, scrolling through your phone, and you remember you need a new phone charger because your dog chewed through the last one. So you open Amazon, find a charger for $12, and you're about to click Buy Now when you see it. Want it tomorrow? Add $3.99 for next day delivery. And you think to yourself, you know what? I do want it tomorrow. I deserve fast shipping. I'm a busy person. Click, purchased. Back to scrolling TikTok. Fast forward to Thursday morning. You're at Starbucks because you're running late and didn't have time to make coffee. That'll be $6.47. Then you're ordering lunch on Uber Eats because you're too busy to go pick something up. That's another $23 with fees. On your way home, you remember you need groceries, but you're tired, so you just order them on Instacart for delivery tomorrow. Add another $40 in fees and markups. Friday hits, you check your bank account, and you've got $847 left until payday. And you're genuinely confused because you got paid like 10 days ago, and you swear you haven't bought anything major. Just normal stuff, regular daily expenses, nothing crazy. But somehow you're always running out of money before the month runs out, and you keep telling yourself, I just need to make more money. If I got a raise, I'd be fine. Except, would you though? What's up, everyone? I'm Matt, and I talk about money, investing, and why you're probably hemorrhaging cash without even realizing it. Today, we're diving into something that's absolutely destroying your bank account, and I guarantee you're going to feel personally attacked by at least 3 things in this video. I'm talking about modern convenience. Yeah, that thing that's supposed to make your life easier, it's actually making you broke, like systematically, strategically broke. Now, before you click away thinking this is going to be some cancel Netflix and eat rice and beans boomer advice, hear me out. I'm not telling you to go live in a cabin and make your own butter. I'm not even telling you to give up all your conveniences. I'm just going to show you the actual math on how much these small conveniences are costing you and why the companies selling them to you are literally geniuses at separating you from your money without you even noticing. Let's start with the perfect example. You know DoorDash, right? Of course you do. We all use it. It's amazing. You're sitting at home, you're hungry, you don't want to cook, you definitely don't want to put on pants and go pick up food, so you open the app and order a burrito. That burrito costs $10 at the restaurant, but by the time you're done with DoorDash, here's what you're actually paying. Burrito, $10. Service fee, $2.50. Delivery fee, $3.99. A small order fee because apparently your hunger isn't big enough, $2. Taxes, $1.50. Tip, because you're not a monster, $5. Your $10 burrito just cost you $25. You just paid a 150% convenience tax to avoid a 15-minute drive. Congratulations, you played yourself. And look, I'm not judging. I've done this. We've all done this. But if you're doing this 3 times a week, that's an extra $2,340 a year you're spending just on delivery fees. That's a nice vacation. That's literally free money you're giving to DoorDash because you didn't want to put on pants. Now let's talk about subscriptions because this is wild. This is where it gets really bad. The average American now has 12 paid subscriptions. 12. And most people can't even name all of them without looking. Let me run through a totally hypothetical list that definitely isn't based on my own bank statement from 2 months ago. Netflix, $15.49. Disney Plus, $10.11. Amazon Prime, $14.99. Spotify, $10.99. iCloud Storage, $2.99. Google Storage, $1.99. Dropbox, $11.99. Planet Fitness that you haven't been to since February, $10. That meditation app you used twice, $12.99. The New York Times because you felt intellectual one day, $17. And Audible, $14.95. That's $124.37 a month. That's $1,492.44 a year on subscriptions. That's more than most people have in their emergency fund. And here's the really insidious part. These companies are absolutely brilliant. They know exactly what they're doing. They make it super easy to sign up, usually with a free trial that converts to paid automatically. Then they make it just annoying enough to cancel that you don't bother. You think to yourself, it's only $10 a month, but they're counting on you thinking that. They're counting on you forgetting about it. They're counting on you being too lazy to cancel. And it works. These companies have entire departments dedicated to maximizing how many people forget to cancel. It's genius. Evil, but genius. Speaking of subscriptions, let's talk about Amazon Prime specifically, because this deserves its own section. This is the final boss of convenience taxes. Now, Amazon Prime seems like a great deal, right? You pay $139 a year, you get free 2-day shipping, you get Prime Video, you get Prime Music, you get all this stuff. Sounds amazing. Except here's what actually happens. You buy Prime, and now you feel like you need to get your money's worth. So you start buying everything on Amazon because, hey, the shipping's free. Except the shipping was never free. You already paid for it. You just paid for it up front. But it gets worse, because now that you have Prime, you're not price checking anymore. You're not going to Target or Walmart or anywhere else because Amazon is just so convenient. You click, it shows up tomorrow, done. And Amazon knows this. They've done the math. They know that Prime members spend an average of $1,400 a year on Amazon compared to $600 for non-Prime members. That's $800 more. You're spending an extra $800 a year because the convenience of Amazon has completely replaced the normal human behavior of checking if something is cheaper somewhere else. Plus, let's be honest, how much random junk have you bought on Amazon at 11 p.m. because it was easy and it would be there in 2 days? That phone case you didn't really need. That weird kitchen gadget you used once. I'm convinced that Amazon Prime is responsible for at least 40% of the clutter in everyone's home. It's just so easy to buy stuff that we buy stuff we don't need because the barrier to entry is literally 3 clicks. All right, I know what you're thinking. Matt, you're about to talk about coffee, aren't you? You're about to do the avocado toast thing. You're about to tell me to stop buying lattes and that's why millennials can't buy houses. Yes, I am. But hear me out, because the math is actually insane, and it's worse than you think. I'm not even talking about making coffee at home versus going to Starbucks. Let's say you already make coffee at home. Good for you. You're already being responsible. Except, do you use a Keurig? Oh, you do. Okay, sit down because I'm about to ruin your day. A Keurig cup costs about 50 to 70 cents depending on what you buy. You're getting maybe 8 ounces of coffee out of that, so you're paying about $8 to $10 per pound of coffee for mediocre coffee in a plastic pod that's going to sit in a landfill for the next 500 years. If you just bought regular ground coffee and used a normal coffee maker, you know, the kind your parents had, the one that costs $20 and lasts for a decade, you'd pay about $6 to $8 for a 12-ounce bag of decent coffee. That makes roughly 30 cups. That's about 20 to 25 cents per cup. So the convenience of K-cups is costing you about 40 to 50 cents per cup.
But Matt, that's not that much.
Okay, cool. If you drink 2 cups a day, that's $292 to $365 a year you're spending, just for the convenience of not having to scoop coffee into a filter. That's literally the bar for convenience now. We can't even handle scooping coffee anymore. It's too much work. We need a robot to do it for us, and we'll pay $300 a year for that privilege. And don't even get me started on Nespresso. Those pods are even more expensive. You're basically drinking liquid money at that point. But wait, it gets stupider, because some of you aren't even doing that. Some of you are buying coffee at Starbucks or Dunkin' every single day. A medium latte at Starbucks is like $5.45. If you get that every workday, that's $27.25 a week. That's $1,417 a year on coffee. Just coffee. And I can already hear the comments. But Matt, it's my one little treat. I deserve it. I work hard. You can't take this from me. This is all I have. Cool. I'm not saying you don't deserve it. I'm just saying that maybe, possibly, potentially, you could treat yourself slightly less expensively and not be wondering where all your money went at the end of every month. Just a thought. Plus, let's be real about what's actually happening at Starbucks. You're not just getting coffee. You're getting the venti iced caramel macchiato with extra caramel and cold foam. That's not coffee. You're paying $7 for a dessert and calling it breakfast. And then you go there on the weekend, too, because you've built it into your routine. It's part of your identity now. You're a Starbucks person. You have a gold card. You know your barista's name. This is who you are. Congratulations! Your personality costs $2,000 a year. Now, let us pass by the grocery stores and check out some prepared foods. You know that rotisserie chicken that smells amazing when you walk into the store? That's $5. You know how much a raw whole chicken costs? Like $3. You're paying a 67% markup for someone else to cook it. Those pre-cut vegetables, you're paying sometimes 3 times as much as whole vegetables. That pre-made salad, that's like $8 for something that costs $2.50 in raw ingredients. And look, I get it. Cooking takes time. Time is valuable. Sometimes you just want the rotisserie chicken. I'm not saying never buy convenience food. I'm saying be aware that you're paying a massive premium for it. The problem is when your entire grocery shopping is convenience foods. Pre-cut fruit, pre-made sandwiches, pre-marinated meat, those little snack packs, juice boxes instead of just juice. All of it is marked up by 100% to 300% for convenience. If half your grocery bill is convenience foods, you could probably cut your food budget by 30% just by buying whole ingredients and doing literally the bare minimum of food prep. We're not talking about becoming a chef. We're talking about cutting your own vegetables and cooking your own chicken. Oh, and while we're talking about convenience that's draining your bank account, let's talk about Uber and Lyft. Remember when these apps launched and they were supposed to be cheaper than taxis? Yeah, that lasted about 5 minutes. Now an Uber costs more than a taxi ever did, and somehow we all just accepted it. You need to go somewhere that's a 15-minute drive? That'll be $23. Surge pricing because it's raining? Make it $35. Oh, you need to get home from the airport? That's going to be $67. Thanks for playing. And the worst part is, we've completely forgotten that other forms of transportation exist. Public transit? Never heard of her. Walking? That's for people without smartphones. Asking a friend for a ride? Too awkward. I know someone who spends $400 a month on Uber. That's $4,800 a year. You know what else costs $4,800 a year? A nice car payment for a new car. But here's what happens. You tell yourself you don't need a car because you can just Uber everywhere. It's more convenient. You don't have to worry about parking or maintenance or insurance. Except you're paying the equivalent of a car payment anyway. You're just doing it $25 at a time so it doesn't feel as bad. It's the financial equivalent of boiling a frog. If someone told you to pay $400 a month for transportation, you'd think, that's crazy, I should just buy a car. But if you pay $15 here, $23 there, $31 on Friday night, it doesn't feel like real money. And don't even get me started on Uber Eats. That's just DoorDash with a different app icon. Here's another one that gets people. Expedited shipping. You're buying something online and at checkout, they give you the options. Standard shipping, 5 to 7 days, free. Expedited shipping, 2 to 3 days, $8. Next day delivery, $15. Now be honest with yourself. How often do you actually need something next day? Like really need it? Probably never. But how often do you pay for faster shipping anyway? A lot more than never, I bet. We've been conditioned to think that waiting a whole week for something is unacceptable. Our parents waited 6 to 8 weeks for stuff they ordered from catalogs and they survived. But we can't wait 5 days without paying extra. And the companies know this. They know that if they make you think about your purchase for 5 days, you might realize you don't actually need it. So they incentivize impulse purchases by offering faster shipping. If you pay for expedited shipping even just once a month, that's $108 to $180 a year you're spending just to get stuff slightly faster that you probably don't even need. Here's the thing about convenience. It's not inherently bad. Convenience is great. I love convenience. The problem is that we've let convenience become the default instead of a choice. We've let these companies train us to think that anything requiring effort is unreasonable. We don't ask ourselves, is this worth it anymore? We just do it because it's easy. And companies have figured out exactly how to exploit that. They've made it so easy to spend money that we don't even think about it anymore. They've removed every single barrier between you and your money. That's why everything is a subscription now. That's why everything can be delivered in 2 hours. That's why every app has one-click ordering. Because the easier it is to spend money, the more money you'll spend without thinking about it. The solution isn't to eliminate all modern convenience and go live like it's 1950. It's to be mindful. It's to ask yourself the questions that these companies don't want you to ask. Do I actually need this delivered, or can I pick it up and save $15? Do I actually watch this streaming service, or am I just lazy to cancel? Do I actually need this tomorrow, or can I wait 5 days and get free shipping? Can I make this myself for less money, or am I just being lazy? Is this convenient, or is this just expensive? Most of the time, the answer is going to be that you can wait, You can cancel, you can do it yourself, you can go get it. And every time you make that choice, you're keeping money in your pocket instead of giving it away for a tiny bit of convenience that you won't even remember next week. All right, if you found this helpful and you're not too mad at me for attacking your lifestyle, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which convenience you're going to cut back on. Or tell me I'm completely wrong and that you deserve all your subscriptions and delivered burritos. This is a free country. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.